Now, purple back in the day was associated with royalty. And that's for a reason, because the dye of purple was extremely rare, and it was actually very, very valuable. You had to get it from a specific secretion of snails and these mollusks that would be boiled, and then they'd secrete this compound that then could be used as purple dye. So then it became associated with royalty, and it was likely that to be a seller of purple, her clientele was part of a very elite status. We see other women who actually financed Jesus' ministry. It says among them were Mary Magdalene, whom was cast out 7 demons, Joanna, the wife of Chuza, who is Herod's business manager, and Susanna, and many others who are contributing from their own resources to support Jesus and his disciples. So we see Jesus' ministry was fueled financially. And many people think that Jesus was kind of like a poor vagabond, kind of wandering to and fro, just, disconnected from the normalcies of life. And it's really this kind of Eastern mysticism and Gnostic view of Jesus, when really, majority of his life, he was a carpenter, earning a living wage, working for his money. And then when he started his ministry, he was getting donations from these women, and he actually had a treasurer. How many of us have a treasurer, looking after our treasure? To have a treasurer, you got to have some treasure. And Jesus had a treasure for his ministry, what God was doing, what he was doing in his ministry. He traveled with 12 disciples. It's kind of an expensive thing to travel with 12 people, and potentially more, the other disciples. And actually, when he was a baby, the wise men, when they bring those gifts, those were extremely expensive gifts. Now, scholars debate on the value of them, but they were very, very, very expensive, with gold, frankincense, myrrh. And if he was in need, one time he actually just told Peter, go look in the fish's mouth and you'll see a gold coin. That's what you'll pay our taxes with. So he wasn't just this poor vagabond figure disconnected from these things. No, he was engaged in this aspect of life. Well, King David actually gave his personal treasure to help build the temple of God. And after he did that, it says the leaders began to give, the captains of the army, the administrators, all these other people of an upper class in society began to give to build God's temple, where then he dwelled in the Holy of Holies. So to be rich doesn't mean that you're just completely ungodly or not in God's will.